What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, my favorite podcast, Noah's favorite podcast, Man Card Podcast. And we are going to start this week off with a quote of the week. Surprise, surprise. Noah, go right ahead.
What's up, guys? Just here in my garage in the Hollywood Hills. Just bought this new Lamborghini, but you know what I like more than material things? Knowledge. Tony Robbins.
Hit it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Thank you, Noah, for that lovely quote. Today is a special episode. We are going live on Instagram for the very first time, and right now we have 0 people watching as of 5 minutes ago. So hopefully we got one person out there.
We'll see.
Lucky guy or gal.
I think it really comes down to it's just a representation of our normal viewership.
Yeah.
So that normal viewership is around 0. So as long as as long as we're consistent, consistency is king.
That's all that matters.
Speaking of consistency, making sure you're consistent throughout your life. And that's really the topic of this episode, boundaries.
Please take it away. Because like I said, I am taking you're taking the lead on this one. I will
That's
follow
okay.
behind
Mitchell
because
will backseat drive this one.
This was your idea, so I will let you take a hold because boundaries, I don't have any.
Well, see, I believe that because of all of the stories that you've told about almost getting in fights and all, like just getting pissed off. Do you have road rage real bad?
I only have so if someone cuts
your car would say otherwise.
They can't hear over my non-muffler. Road rage. If someone actually comes close to hitting me or something stupid that can threaten my life, yeah, I get pissed. There was one time in the car I was with my sister and we were pulling out of like a Wendy's. We didn't even get Wendy's, but we were pulling out of like a Wendy's parking lot, and some dude comes across the lane and literally 1 inch away from nailing my car. Like I was stopped. There's no reason he should have done so.
If there's one thing you hold very high in your level of
my baby,
it's your baby,
Rosie, my baby.
Rosie. Well, what color is your car for all of those people who aren't astute enough to put Rosie with a color?
Rosie red.
Rosie red. Do you call her Rosie red?
No, I just call her Rosie.
Just Rosie.
Yeah, just Rosie. But this dude got like 1 inch away from my car. Like I thought I was getting hit, and there's no reason for him to get that close. And so like I wasn't having it that day. I turned right around. I took a right, went back into the Wendy's parking lot, saw that he went into the drive-thru, and I pulled up right next to him. And I just started staring at him until like he looked at me, and then he rolled down his window and he's like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Dude, you got like a foot away from my car. There was no need for that. Like why so close?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't even know. I wasn't paying attention." I was like, "Yeah, no shit." And then I drove off.
Yeah, we're gonna look back on that many years from now, and we're gonna be like, "Man, we were idiots." For being so upset, because Ellie gets on to me quite a bit about getting frustrated in the car. Now, of course, let me caveat this. If she is listening, I'm sure she's going to contradict me. But I always find that when I'm in the car, I get appropriately upset at situations. I'm never getting like road rage to the point where I'm speeding and like going like gunning after somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, you cut me off. I'm going to say, what the heck, out loud in the car. And then Ellie's like, no, come on, don't get so mad.
Yeah.
But she is a much more sensitive person than I am, so.
See, so you brought up, we'll look back on it and, be like, why did we get so mad? That was so dumb.
Yeah.
I've had situations in my life, and we talked about fights and stuff, that I look back and I wish I did more than I have.
Oh, really?
Because like 3 podcasts ago, I talked about the dude that threw me on the floor in the basketball game.
You let that slide?
Yeah. Frankly, I wish I would have hit him. I wish I look back now and I wish I kind of, didn't let that happen.
Was there any ramifications for him? Like, did he get kicked out of the game or the league?
As that story went on, he got away with it completely, 100%.
Really?
100%.
And that was in a public
basketball
gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Refs and everything. So I look back and I'm like, if I could go back, maybe I would have done something more. And maybe later I would have regretted, but right now I sit back and I'm like, yeah, should have swung. Should have done something. Or maybe did a cheap play back to him. But anyway.
Well, I definitely agree with the going back and doing more idea. Because there are multiple instances, and now, once again, I've said this on the podcast before, I don't ever want to go back, or, I'm sorry, I don't want to live a life looking back and saying, man, if I had only, I wish I
you don't
had.
want no regret.
No regrets. I've learned from a lot of my situations, and that's really what boundaries is all about, is like setting good boundaries so you don't, and really the other half of the show is like setting yourself up for failure. So we can go into some stories where we've just set ourselves up to just fall apart.
Oh yeah.
Many times. But the ultimate thing for me is the idea of I'm not doing enough. So like when I go back and look at it, I'm like, man, I wish I had like said this. That's really my biggest thing, is like saying things.
Yes.
I'm not a big physical person because I'll lose every fight.
I mean, I'm really not a physical person. If you think about it, I'm all, as of right now, it's all talk. It really is, because I don't do anything. I sit back and look back. Yeah, I wish I would have, punched him in the face, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I've been punched in the face not plenty of times, once, but like
that's enough for most people.
I'd go back to that one too. No, I wouldn't.
I wish there was a way. What I want to do here, let me see if I can go to our Instagram
and see if you can watch live.
and see if I can watch live.
You probably can.
And then go back and see comments. Listen, I'm not saying people are watching, but if they
It'd
are,
be interesting to see. There.
I'd be interested to see. Yeah, we are.
And we're
There's 2 watchers. What's up? What is up, Instagram? We're so happy you're here.
it tells you who it is.
I know. It's what is that? Jaden Wilson.
Hey,
What's up?
what's up, bro?
How's it going?
Jaden
Jaden Wilson
Wilson.
the first, actually, it looks like.
Yeah.
So that I guess there was a 0. There's a 0th person. I don't know. I guess Jaden Wilson was taken.
Oh, there's a good amount of lag on it too. So like, they're gonna see it because watch, my hand moved way up to my.
Oh yeah, we just got. Wow,
yeah, there's some crazy lag on that. Okay.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
I'm probably not gonna be able to watch that the whole time.
Me neither.
But yeah, so what I was saying is like going back and doing more.
Mm-hmm.
I always find it funny because I get in hot water more than I care to admit, and not necessarily for something I'm necessarily doing wrong. It's that people just don't vibe with me super hard all the time, so they get against me.
Yeah.
We're fighting on opposing teams, except I'm not really fighting. So they win. They win pretty much every time because I don't stand up for myself. In high school,
Same.
I let people walk all over me with words when I totally could have said something and that would have been true, and they would have been, oh, well, that's okay.
I'm the same. I let people walk over me words, and
apparently I'll actually walk over you.
It's weird. I think that I'm a person that when I was growing up, I was picked on when I was little, whatever. Bullied. So I know that feeling. I know the feeling of being embarrassed plenty of times, tons of things. So I know all of the embarrassments, the regret, things like that. So I think I have, is it sympathy or empathy? I think it's empathy when you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and know what they're feeling. I think it's empathy.
I don't know the difference because I'm not good at either.
Yeah. So, well, I think I'm really good empathizing because I'll let people walk all over me or let them say what they want to say and not do anything back because I don't want them to feel how I felt before.
Oh,
because
okay.
I know how crappy of a feeling it is to have been picked on or be embarrassed out of your mind or, be in an awkward situation where people are yelling at you. Like, I don't want to yell at somebody and be put in that situation because I know, like, I curl up sometimes on the ball unless, it's weird. I can fight with my friends, but if some rando comes up to me and starts screaming at me, I'm like, but, my buddy Matt comes up, I'm like, I'll scream back real quick.
Yeah, I can see getting upset with like people you're comfortable with. Like I can get in some major league spats with my own family and Ellie for that matter, because I think there's a level of comfort with those people.
But it's almost, if you think about the wrong people to be able to blow up at like that. You should be more willing to blow up at a random stranger who did something to you than someone you're close to that did the exact same thing.
Now I've always been curious about this. Does that speak to our over concern nature of how people see us?
I think so. Yeah, I think
because
that is.
I don't necessarily feel like I have that as like a built-in feature where I'm super concerned what people think of me on a day-to-day basis. Like I'll pretty much say whatever I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do still blow up at my family and people who I'm closest with.
Yeah, I think we're similar in that because whenever we took the Enneagram, because I
Yes.
still don't know what the numbers truly mean.
What are you?
8 wing 9.
8 wing 9.
8 wing 9.
He asked me the other day. That's the only reason
Yeah.
I'm saying it.
But like we don't care. So like I post on TikTok and I post on social media. I post things that all of my guy friends are like making fun of me for. They're like, "Wow, that's so cringy," and whatever.
What, your workout stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, who's gonna watch that?" Whatever. It doesn't bother me. I don't care what other people think of me in terms of that.
Sure.
But when it comes to like social aspects where I'm treating somebody some way, that's when I care. I care
Okay.
how somebody sees me. Like if I'm talking at somebody and maybe I say that a curse word in front of somebody I shouldn't. That
Okay.
bothers me that person's looking at me as like I'm a delinquent or whatever. Whereas
Okay.
if they were to just go to my Instagram and see that I do workout videos and they think it's funny or cringy, that doesn't bother me. I don't care because I don't do it for them. I don't care what they think about me.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like social interactions I
Sure.
care about, but like things I'm willing to put out to the world or dress or whatever, I don't care.
Like this podcast. Like
Exactly.
you don't care about this podcast, so why would anybody else care?
Okay, yeah, I really don't care.
Because nobody's watching. Let me flick back over. I just want to see.
Yeah,
Yep, one person left, and now there's only one person watching,
which would be us.
which is
technically.
actually that is us.
So. No
Hi,
worries.
us. What's up? But no, so boundaries. So
Yeah.
so the topic of the show today is boundaries, and I think that really it touches on a lot of different parts of your life, as just everything you do.
Yeah.
Like, because what we're speaking about is like we set boundaries to make sure that other people aren't seeing parts of our lives to keep a professional rapport.
Yeah.
Or
correct.
we go through life like with Ellie. Like I have a set of boundaries and guardrails on my own life so that I do things to respect Ellie and make sure that she is in my mind and in her mind being upheld as this person that I adore and cherish.
Do you have any specific things that come to mind? Or boundaries?
Boundaries. I think there's social boundaries. Here's a really simple one is like I try not to, as much as humanly possible, have any one-on-one dates with girls. Like
Yeah.
any one-on-one, like face to face with girls
okay.
that aren't my fiance.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought you were kind of thinking, like going back, like you would never go on a one-on-one date. I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay, I see what you're saying. So
No, yeah.
not necessarily a date,
Like
like
if-
a
like if-
relationship date, like
if
going
you
out.
if
to
you asked
coffee.
me to go get coffee,
Yeah,
I would absolutely meet you in a heartbeat.
yeah,
But just the other week, this girl that I don't know is a friend of a friend. She was wanting to get some, insight into Sherwin-Williams, which is where I work.
yeah.
So she wanted to get some insight into, that whole world and what the culture is like and all that. And she was like, let's grab coffee. And I found every single excuse to get out of it.
Yeah.
One, I happened to be running late at work, so that was great. But I was able to just take a phone call, and it ended up being great. Like we had a great time, great conversation.
Yeah.
But I'll happily take a phone call with you, or like FaceTime, or whatever, email. Probably not text. I don't know. But I try to avoid any one-on-one conversation
Where you could be put in a bad situation.
Well, yeah, I trust myself
Uh-huh.
a lot, but I also want to make sure that, like, I know I have the best intentions, but I don't know if everybody who I'm meeting has the best intentions.
No, that makes complete sense.
Because I'm not saying I couldn't be taken advantage of, but I feel like, it's never fair. Once again, I'm setting myself up to fail if I'm going into situations without a plan, right? Like if I'm going to meet a girl that's not Ellie for coffee, I feel like that's just kind of setting myself up for failure. Like
yeah,
there's room
especially
there.
because it's not an established relationship, really.
Right.
It's not somebody you're close to. It's not like it's a friend that even Ellie knows or you've hung
Yeah.
out with before.
And of course, like I've broken my own rule multiple times when it's like it happenstance. I bump into somebody and it's like one-on-one and it's like, but most of those times I try to keep it as public as possible. Like we're in a public place. Everybody can see us.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to do anything nefarious. Nefarious?
You're asking the wrong dude.
I don't know.
I have a third grade vocabulary.
Let us know out there. I'm sorry. I'll look at this camera because nobody's watching Instagram. Let us know out there on the YouTube verse. Oh, great way. We're plugged on YouTube. So check
We are
us out.
plugged on YouTube. Yes, correct.
This video will be when you're listening to it.
This video will get more views than our live.
Yes,
Which is fine.
that's fine. That's fine with me. It'll get maybe 2 views, and that's more than our live. So I don't even think my fiance is tuned in. Oh, we got 2. I think Jaden tuned back in. Welcome back.
Or maybe it's just not updating. Either or. It doesn't matter.
Either way, don't really That's okay. First time for everything. We're just trying this out to see how it works.
I think we should do it every single time because, yeah, it starts off slow, but, I mean, just getting posted live, it sends out the notification every time.
You never know.
One thing I kind of want to dive into, so you brought up boundaries with your wife or fiance.
Fine. Yeah, fiance, soon to be wife. Yeah.
Personal boundaries. Think about, give me an example of like a personal boundary that you set for yourself so that way you don't set, I'm going to say this again. Set yourself up for failure personally. Doesn't involve anybody else. You just don't want to be put in the situation to hurt, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, here's a kind of innocuous one that I think you could probably relate to, which is gym. So like setting myself up for failure. A great one today that I failed at is I was in Walmart earlier getting some stuff that Ellie had asked. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at the clock and I was thinking like, oh man, if I get home, like if I hurry through here and I get home, I could squeeze in a workout.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Like I didn't hurry. But I don't know if it was like intentional or subconscious, but I knew that if I didn't hurry, I wouldn't have to work out today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be forcing myself to work out today. So I didn't. And of course, it really comes off of a stint of I was supposed to work out. What is today? Wednesday? I was supposed to work out Monday. I didn't work out Monday. But I was supposed to work out Tuesday. I didn't work out Tuesday. Also, we're taking care of my fiance's. Her mom's out of town, so we're taking care of her dog. So her mom's house doesn't have a gym there.
Do you know how to do push-ups?
No, I do. I actually, okay, so it's funny you say that. So I've been doing push-ups every day. I do 100 push-ups every day when I'm not working out. And it's great, but also like, I'm not working out.
You can only do so much, yeah. I used to, when I was little, my whole routine was all body weight. It was 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. I would do like a plank for like 60 seconds.
You're like a one-punch man over there.
When I was little, I did this religiously. Like I would always stick my feet. We had a sofa just like this, and I'd just stick my feet under. I'd do all my sit-ups. Right while my dad's watching TV, I'd do my push-ups.
Well, you weren't trying to flex or anything.
Yeah, not trying to flex. I was just a jacked little sixth grader.
Because you were actually like pretty ripped, pretty young. That's more than I could say about myself. I was thin.
Well, we talked about it earlier. I was skinny. I had skinny boy jeans. I would still, and I'll say it on video.
I'll show you photos later.
I would rather have your body type than my body type right now, personally.
I mean, you can have my body if you want.
I would much rather have your body type.
Hey, let's start the show off. Honestly, just don't tell Ellie.
Ellie actually reached out to me after y'all had a episode, and she says you just had to step in. She felt it was necessary because we were getting too close.
Were we?
So with that said, Ellie, we're getting closer, whether you like it or not. So
it sounded like my fiance slid into your DMs.
Sounds like your fiance's a little jealous. You need to set your boundaries better, bro. Set your boundaries better.
She needs to set her boundaries a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I always find boundaries curious because I think going through life, we always try to put our best self forward.
Of course.
Like when we're in conversation, when we're in public, when we're just going through the daily routines, like we're always trying to put ourselves in the best light that we can in just normal happenings.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what we're saying about ourselves, like, oh, hey, what are you doing now? Oh man, I'm looking into getting this position. Like you say the best things, even though in the back of your mind, like I actually didn't get that job interview, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Of course. Which is setting yourself up for failure because later on it could come bite you in the butt.
It's going to come bite you in the butt.
I think that's where my personal boundaries that I've been working on a lot, and it's still really tough, is I am very used to putting all my eggs in one basket. Like being so reliant on one thing or falling really hard for one thing or, being dedicated to one thing and expecting that to work out. So for example, I have two examples that come to mind. Like one, UGA. When I was leaving,
I remember
when I was leaving high school, and I thought I was a shoo-in for UGA. I was like, you know what? I've got a great GPA. There's no way I'm not getting into UGA.
I look hot, so like, why would they deny me?
Right. There it is. So I applied, and thank God for my mother telling me to just apply to KSU in case. For a backup plan, she'd pay for it. It takes no time. So I did that, of course.
Well, let's not knock it. Let's not knock Kennesaw. Like Kennesaw's great.
Kennesaw is great. It's a great school for sure. I miss Kennesaw, but I didn't get into UGA, and I told all my friends, I'm getting into UGA. That's where I applied. That's where I plan on going.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Bulldog. All that stuff, and it didn't happen. I got deferred because I did the early application. Deferral came through, and I was like, okay, there's still a chance. So I kept telling people, hey, I got deferred, but it's probably because so many people applied, but I'm going to get in. I'm going to UGA. I'm going to be a Bulldog. Deferral comes around, and I find out at my baseball game. Like, I'm sitting in the dugout, and I find out I didn't get in. I tear up. I'm like, it was devastating because I was so proud.
No,
I told all my friends, I told all my family, like, this is what I'm doing. Like, I am doing UGA, whether they want to do me or not, which they didn't.
Well, of course not. Does anybody?
Exactly.
So right off of that, right there. So I had to look it up because I wanted to make sure to get the song right. But there's a song by 21 Pilots called "We Don't Believe What's on TV," right? We don't believe what's on TV. Yeah.
It sounds just like that.
Thank
exactly.
You. That I just I'll do musical renditions all the time on the show. Granted, take it with a grain of salt. Not very good. So "We Don't Believe What's on TV." Great song. If you don't know it, look it up. 21 Pilots. So that was basically my freshman year. I got into a big 21 Pilots kick. So whenever I'm in the car alone, I just like tune it up. But this quote from the song really hits home, which is, "What if my dream does not happen? Would I just change what I've told my friends?" And that
so like twist the story.
Yes.
Or also people
so like you
blame it on something.
Yeah. So like you didn't get into UGA, you would say, I never wanted to go to UGA.
That wasn't mine. Mine was they
or you blame it on them. They're like, they messed up.
Exactly. People do that. One thing that comes to mind is like basketball players or like athletes that are like really good, but like, what happened? Like, did you go D1 and stuff? It's like, oh no, knee injury ruined my career. When actually they just
that's
didn't go
always
D1.
the biggest thing with athletes. It's like, I got injured.
Yeah, I got injured. My shoulder was just messed up. I was pumping 98 fastball. But
it's just tweaked. It's just tweaked, And then now I'm retiring on medical.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like I totally respect any athlete who actually gets injured and like has to stop playing.
For sure.
That sucks. Yeah. Your passion. You have to stop doing your passion. I think that's terrible. But there's the flip side of that coin of all the people who just blame it. They're just changing what they tell their friends. It's like, did you go D1? No, X reason prevented me.
Yeah. So it's almost, you need to set that boundary. You just need to be accountable. Hold yourself accountable.
And that's where the boundary comes in, because we don't ever. Because I was in the car earlier today, and I was thinking about how I process what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll get on these existential, kicks when I'm in the car. My radio's broken right now. So another 21 Pilots song is, what's it called? Somebody Stole My Car Radio, and now I just sit in silence. It's a really good song. So it's like, the song's basically just a joke song about how his radio got stolen.
Yeah.
And now he can't listen to music to drown out life that he's thinking about.
See, I've heard of 21 Pilots. I'm sure if I heard a song, I'd recognize it. But
radio. Oh, hold on. 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots. Somebody stole my car radio. Now I just sit in silence. It's called Car Radio.
Screamo.
Yeah, Car Radio.
Okay.
So it's literally just, somebody stole my car radio, and now I just sit in silence. Right there. Now I just sit in silence. So it really drives home the fact, like, so my radio is broken right now. I don't know what's going on. I think my battery has a problem. But I'm literally just sitting in silence, driving down the road, thinking about like how I operate and process what I'm supposed to be doing, which is a lot. Mm-hmm. And I can feel my mind running through the list and thinking, how can I get out of the first 4 things on my list?
Yeah.
So not even in a bad way, just like, I just don't want to do those right now.
So I actually watched a YouTube video recently, and it's this really famous guy. I don't know his name. I'm sure we could look it up if we wanted to, but he was a Navy SEAL, and they have this thing called Hell Week. And it's,
Jocko Willens?
No, I would know the name if I heard it, but he basically talked about, you go through Hell Week. It's 130 hours. You get like 2 hours of sleep throughout this week. It's 130 hours.
Oh my gosh.
It's nonstop training, nonstop doing things. And one of the very first things they do is they go to the Pacific Ocean, and it's always freezing. The Pacific Ocean, cold. And they're doing their training. It's freezing. It's like middle of the night. And what always got him through, and it was just a little trick that one of his buddies told him, was, don't think about the future in terms of, oh man, I just got through 1 hour. I got 129 more of these to go.
Right.
Like you're in pain.
Oh yeah.
If you start thinking about how much more you have to do, that 129 more hours, you're not going to get through it. Your mind's going to freak out. You're going to give up. You're going to quit, most likely. What he says to do is just sit there and think in the moment, yes, this sucks right now, but I'm dealing with it. Like right now, it just sucks. Don't think about 129 more hours of this. Think about the feeling right now. Yes, it sucks, but I'm bearing it. I can do this 100%. So it's like you just said with the whole list thing. I'm trying to apply that to my life because I only watched this video like this week.
Right.
So I'm not, anytime I'm going to the gym, I'm not trying to think about, oh, I got to do squats next. Oh, I got to do, quad extensions next, and those suck, or calves.
Right.
I'm thinking this pain sucks right now, but I'm getting through it. That's
Okay.
it. And it actually kind of helps.
So you're living in the moment. So in pain, you live in the moment, but in happiness, you live in the future? Or are you just saying you live in the moment always?
I don't know, actually. I don't know the answer. We'll circle back.
We'll circle back. I'll circle back to you.
Yeah.
So the end of what I was saying, which is, I'm in the car and I'm thinking about how I process that. What I realized is to get out of, and this is my hack. So you have your hack. My hack to getting out of stuff is I say words out loud. So I'm thinking of something, I'm saying I don't want to do that. I say,
I don't want to do my homework.
no,
I don't want to
you're
do my
going
homework.
to go work out right now. Like I say those words out loud to myself.
So you're not getting out of it. You're still doing it.
No, I'm saying, so like in my mind, I'm trying to not do it. Like I'm trying to talk myself out of having to do it. But then I cut my mind off by verbally speaking out loud and saying, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to work out right now.
I like that.
That's the only way I've been working out for a month now. Like every single day, I want to get out of it, but I'll go like, no, you're going to go downstairs. You're going to go work out. You're going to go do this. Over the past couple days, I've had exigent circumstances, which I'm blaming on something else, of course.
People might think you're a little nuts if you're sitting there talking, yelling, I will work out.
No, it's like
yes, I will.
It's all those daily morning routines where it's like they look in the mirror. You're so good. You're going to do good things today.
It's going to be a damn good day.
It's going to be a good day. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just a little creepy, yes, but at the same time, it's just a complete hack. Like if I'm thinking about something that I don't want to be thinking about, or like I'm thinking about bad memories of something that I messed up, or like whatever, I just go out loud. I'm like, that's in the past. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say just a quick little line, whatever it is. That might not be it in the moment, but a quick little line about how that's done, that's over, move on. You're a different person. And then it's just like, I don't know. I found that the verbalness of it really pushes me over the edge.
I like that. It kind of leads to my favorite quote. Shit happens. That's it. That's all you gotta say.
Well, honestly,
it happens.
With that quote, let's take you right into the halftime show. We'll be right back after this quick break from our future selves, talking about what you can do to get access to more content. See you on the other side. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the halftime mini episode inside of the main Man Card episode. We're excited you're here because today we have a brand new sponsor for the show. Just kidding. It's mancardpodcast.com. It's the only thing that we plug every show. Mitchell, tell us a little bit about this website that's going on.
Let me just start off. You are killing this halftime show. I'm so happy to be here.
Listen, don't blow smoke up where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody sees. What
right
am I
up the
saying?
fart chimney. Anyways, let's get to it. mancardpodcast.com.
Okay, what can you do there?
You can watch all of our episodes.
All the episodes.
You can watch all the episodes. You can go back on old episodes, just backtrack. Yeah.
So if I want to see what we did before, I can see that.
You can do it. It's there.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's eventually,
Eventually.
that lovely thing will probably be on there.
Oh, you mean this little lovely drop of merch?
I love this. Yeah, that
Okay.
lovely merch. And then I think I saw you added if you want to be shouted out, you can go on there and get shouted out. Just put in your @ or your name.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
whatever have you, and then it has our email, Instagram, YouTube links.
YouTube
you can watch
links?
our YouTube.
Wait, hold on. What did you say something about a YouTube?
Not a MeTube, a YouTube.
We have a YouTube account.
We have a YouTube.
Okay,
account.
so
crazy.
All that is linked on the website?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's all linked on the website. So go check it out now. We're always updating the website with the newest episodes that are available. So I don't want you to miss anything. You can go on there, subscribe, put your email in. And when we ever send out any Man Card emails or like notices about stuff that's happening, you'll be in the loop. You'll be in the know. You'll be in the tight-knit Man Card circle. So thank you for tuning in to this little mini Man Card episode inside of the main Man Card episode, Man Card Halftime Show. We'll see you right back in the main sode. See ya.
Welcome back to the show. I appreciate the energy you had in that halftime show. It was fantastic. Honestly, you might want to just go back and rewatch that middle part
Honestly,
again.
I don't even watch the rest of the show or listen to it. Just scrub backwards, listen to that 2-minute little aside
Blurb,
we did,
Yeah, a little blurb.
just on repeat. That's it.
It was fantastic. But let's go ahead.
You had all the information, though. I'll tell you that.
I'm not kidding you. I think I dragged it on because I was trying to remember all the things you do. I really was.
I did put you on the spot. Yes.
Yeah, which is fair. Which is fair.
fair.
But let's go ahead and go into topic number 2, or the second part of this, and something I am very familiar with: setting yourself up for failure and how
Yes.
to avoid that. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm just saying that right now. Do as I say, not as I do, because
Yes.
I'm about to be very contradicting myself. So you kind of want to start off. You want to bring up Forrest Gump. I don't
Yes.
know why, but go right ahead.
So, okay. So the only reason I wanted to bring up Forrest Gump, actually, there's multiple reasons. One, it's one of my favorite movies, along with Evans, who we had on last week. If you missed that episode, my best friend Evans Elliott was on the show. Check it out. It's a great show. So I wouldn't want you to miss any of the great conversations we had there. And of course, yes, I'm sure comment about the audio. I'm sure it sucked. Yes, I'm sorry. We're fixing it. Hopefully this sounds better. But Forrest Gump, one of our favorite movies, and in the movie, Forrest Gump goes through life with a level of reckless abandon. Not in the way that he's trying to fail at things, but he's going at things with such a positive attitude. And of course, I get it that he's on the spectrum. I get that. I'm not factoring that into this. I'm saying he's going at life in such a positive way, in such an authentic way, that he's succeeding. Everything he's doing is pushing him further and further to success.
Of course.
Like he goes to China and is like a ping pong champion from the war, right? He just starts playing ping pong. Watch the ball. You get that scene. It's like you're just going.
And kills it, yeah.
And I think Forrest Gump really goes into the idea of focus, right? You put your mind to something and you do it. Like my personal motto is all in or why bother, right? Like go all the way, or why are you even trying?
Makes sense.
Like it's not worth your time if you're not putting in all the effort to get things done. And so that for me from Forrest Gump, like really drives that point home.
So you're basically saying, if you're not going all in, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's
Yeah.
basically is what all that. Okay, no, I like that a
Because
lot.
if you're gonna go halfway on something, and it can be anything, it can be homework, schoolwork, whatever. You're gonna reap what you sow. And I don't mean
Man, we are throwing quotes out there like it's nothing.
boom, bam, boom,
Jesus.
simile, metaphor, ba, ba. But no, I don't mean that in like an overly religious way. I literally mean that in what you put out and what you do, you're going to get back.
Yeah.
So if you're going through life doing things halfway, not being super interested in what you do, like let's put it in perspective. Let's say you have just a run of the mill, you work at, I don't know, the Gap, right? And you are putting clothes out, making sure everything looks nice, you're merchandising, you're working the floor, helping people who want a size that you don't have, you tell them you don't have it, and then they ask you to go look in the back anyway, and you come back a couple minutes later to pretend as if you looked and say, hey, we don't have the size. If you go at that job with just a level of charisma and energy that the job does not deserve, let's just be completely honest.
Yeah.
Does not deserve your high energy. But if you take it with high energy and go at it with the respect of a job that you wish you had, it's going to come back on you. Managers are going to notice. You're going to get promoted to the floor manager. You're going to be setting schedules. Then you're going to become the manager of that outfitter. Then you're going to go up. Maybe you'll work up to corporate, or you can transfer over to another department, whatever. It really always comes back. And that's what I try to do. It's like, I have an entry-level job. It's a run-of-the-mill entry-level job. So I could go about it as, thinking super negatively and say, this is an entry-level job. This is stupid.
Well, you're already doing great with it.
I'm having fun.
You signed up for this job, and you're taking on roles and things that you did not sign up for because you're being a great sport about it, and you enjoy it, and you want to help out.
Well, it helps. There's twofold. There's that, which I'm trying to go at it with a positive attitude. And I happen to have a boss who's in my corner. Like she's on my team. Mm-hmm. I came in and she recognized that I was somebody who was ambitious and wanted to work hard.
I don't know what she saw.
I don't either.
Me neither.
But I sure did trick her, that's for sure. But no, she recognized that I had a drive and an ambition to go further, And she was like, listen, I get that you're here. I want you to do a good job while you're here, but I want you to succeed. So take on extra things, do some good extra work, and build that resume, bolster it up.
But don't go over your hours.
Don't go over your hours. Don't go over your hours. God forbid. And you will reap those rewards. And so I really think like with setting ourselves up for failure, that's kind of the other side of that coin, which is as much as we don't want to set ourselves up for failure, you want to set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Like you want to go at it with a winning attitude, a winner's attitude.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you went at something and you were not all that jazzed about it and you were like, oh shoot, I probably should have been?
My pass-fail class that I'm currently failing.
All right,
that's
dive
100%
dive into it. I actually love this story because it's funny because it's a story about you not only setting yourself up for failure.
Oh yeah.
But also seeing kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, how you can get through it, manage those failures, and come out positive in the end.
Yeah, so I'm a fifth year, senior. I'm almost out. We're almost done.
You almost got out. Almost.
Yeah, we're so close. We're right. Like
Come
I said,
on.
it's right. It's like I can't grab it, but I can grab it.
It's you're reaching through the bars, but you just can't reach
like
the
if
keys
I was like
yet.
6'5", I'd be able to reach it, but I'm like 6
Not yet.
foot. So
Hey, whoa, no reaching. You got to get there. You got to get legitimate. Okay.
Don't want to pull muscle.
Yeah.
But so I'm taking 3 classes. One's an intro class, one's senior design, and one's a pass-fail class. For those of you that don't know what pass-fail is, it's basically a class that doesn't count towards your GPA whatsoever. Nope. All you have to do is pass the class, and you move on.
And passing is above what grade?
70.
Okay.
Well, some classes it's 60 or above because 60 is considered a D in some cases. But this class specifically, 70 or above is
But
passing.
Mitchell does not want that D.
No, I don't. I don't want that D.
This is very rare, but he does not.
No. Unless, never mind.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later.
So, I went into this. I have senioritis. I'm a 5th year. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to be done. I hate tech, but I love tech. And I go into classes, and it's called Stars, Galaxy, and the Universe. So you're thinking, oh wow, kind of interesting, super easy.
That's some Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff.
Yeah, they're going to hand us a picture book. I'm going to look at some stars, and it's going to tell a little Dr. Seuss story. Not at all. Anyways, it's the physics behind it, so that's what is really getting me.
So there's the rub.
Exactly.
It gets a little.
They don't throw that in the title. Stars, Galaxy, and the Universe. You're thinking great, but in a little at the bottom line, it's the physics of it. So screw you.
That's just the Georgia Tech disclaimer on every class.
It really is. Just
like this class sounds interesting, but it's gonna wreck you.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun. So I go to lecture. This is actually my only class that's in person. So I'm going to lecture. The guy's interesting. Okay. He loves his stars. Like he is all for it. I pay attention to the slides. I've always been a decent student. So I go into this first test thinking, pass, fail. I just got to get a 70. I'm good.
Yeah, easy enough.
Even a 65, I'm not worried. So I'm going to go in this first test. I did not study. I maybe looked over my notes once because I took some notes. Yeah. And I go into this test, and holy tits, destroys me. So anyway, long story short, I finished.
What did you I know I'm going to put you on the spot. What did you get on the test? What did you get on the first test?
Take a guess. You already know. Okay, I'm not going to. We can pretend that you're guessing.
61.
No, lower. Okay, 44. Your boy got a. we got a 44 on the first test, and it's online. So you take this, and it's multiple choice, and you take this test, and it tells you what your score is immediately.
Okay.
So I submitted it. I was like, I was out of breath.
That's the worst because
it's a punch in the gut.
I like. This is I'm sorry to interrupt, but
you're fine.
It's a fake theory that I have. It's not real. It doesn't exist. But it's the longer time between when you take a test, turn it in, and get it back, the answers somehow in the cosmos have a way to change and shift to the correct answers.
But I also feel like somehow it's the other way too. Like if you get it back and it's like, yeah, cosmos for the
once
boys.
again, blaming it on external forces.
Exactly. No accountability.
It was too long. I got a bad grade because it was too long before it got graded.
Hard class. He didn't teach very well. So 44. Freak out a little bit because I'm like, pass, fail.
Rightfully so.
That's failing. That's not even close. That's failing.
Here's the line.
Yeah.
Down here.
So also the other thing that was really discouraging was with Canvas, it tells you all the data from the test. So it tells you what's the high, what's the low,
right,
what's the median, where was the range of everybody. And I go back to my room and I just check that because you know what? I'm like, I'm not an idiot. There's no way I'm the dumbest kid in this class. Someone else had to have done this. And I look at the low score, 44.
But
Well-
here's the thing: is somebody else could have also gotten
Nope.
a 44.
Well, I thought that until I showed up to the next class and he shows the distribution. And he shows the little graph and it says how many people got what grade. And there's one person that got a 44.
all the
And
way
it's
over
really
here.
just discouraging too because the next highest person was like a 68. So like the dude like 22 more points.
See, that's the thing. Whenever I saw that in my class, I saw all the normal people over here, and I say normal people like that come to actually take
Geniuses,
classes, and then the athlete. You know what I mean? Like, this is that football player in the class.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't judge that guy because
Yeah.
his priority is not this class. It's to do well in sports, which is great. Please, Tech, come on, Tech football, win us some games. Basketball, win us some games, guys. Okay, just do that for us.
it. But so I go in this next test and I study. I'm like, you know what? I gotta put on my thinking cap. I gotta pull up my pants and let's get this going.
Yeah.
So I study, not as hard as I can, because still, again, in the back of my mind, it's pass fail. So I
How
study.
bad could you do?
Exactly. So I got a 75 the next test. I'm like, yo,
Okay.
we're kind of killing it. We're doing great.
I mean,
We're
average
fine.
those together, you're still in the
Yeah, still
high
failing. Still
50s
failing,
range,
but we are not as failing. And so the climax of it all, we take our third test. I don't even think I've told you this yet. Do you know
Oh,
my
no.
third? Oh, yeah. So your boy beat his record. Let's go. We got a 40.
Oh no.
Yeah, I see. So that's where I set myself up for failure.
Oh gosh.
And so this all relates back to I did better. I saw that I put in effort and I did 75 and I got arrogant and kind of cocky with it. I was like, you know what? It actually wasn't that bad. I put a little bit effort in. So I put a little bit effort into the third test, but of course the tests get harder
Progressively,
So, yeah,
as they do.
which makes sense. So what
Are they
I did,
cumulative?
no,
Okay.
thankfully, but they slowly get harder. And so I needed to study a little bit more than the last one, but I didn't. I studied a little bit less, thinking like, okay, I'm in the clear now.
You know the level you need.
Yes, and I'm used to taking the test by now. But boy, oh my gosh. So 44, 75, 40 is what I'm sitting at.
How many
and
tests are in this class?
4. We take the next one Wednesday.
Have
Next
you
Wednesday.
have you talked to this professor?
I have.
Because
I emailed.
I'm just quickly doing the math in my head.
So actually, it's not as terrible. Well, he told me this. It's not as terrible as I think because I emailed him and I was like, I am freaking out. Like I'm graduating.
Yeah.
Like I need to graduate. Like what do I need to do? I've done terrible on like 2 tests, and he sent me the whole calculations. Like Mitchell, you're not actually doing as bad as you think. Blah 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 blah. And
You
he
only
sent-
need 110% on this next test.
Yeah, exactly. So he did. He showed it to me, and basically, so far, I think of it as a point system now. I have lost technically a total of 20 points off my grade. So I am
Yes.
technically, if I get 100 on everything else, the final and this next test, I can get an 80. Believe it or not,
Oh wow. Okay.
which is crazy to think.
That is
so
crazy.
I can get an. No, hold on, I lied.
Yep. I was about
No,
to say.
no. That's
Oh,
right.
is that
No,
right?
I can get an 80. Someone check me. I'm pretty sure though that's the case because 65 points worth of tests and homework have been allocated already, and I had 45 points of it.
I see what you're saying.
So I've lost 20 points if I get 100 on everything else.
Okay.
Anyway, he seems to think it's not that bad. It's not whatever. I have 10 points to lose, and he said set up a meeting with him. I need to go. I'll probably meet with him either Friday or Monday before our next test. But yeah, I'm failing, big time. I set myself up for failure, and your boy's failing. And graduation comes up, and I'm a little worried, slightly.
Yeah, it sounds like you may have to do some begging.
Yeah. So long story short, pass fail does not make it a.
It doesn't make the
Walk in the
class
park.
easier.
No, it does.
Like the class is the same difficulty.
Like the professor looks at it, he's like, oh, he's taking pass fail. We'll give him the easy test. Send him the easy one.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to pay attention. Yeah.
It's the same class. Yeah, because I've done the same thing where I've gotten to the position that I'm in a class, and my mentality when I ever did classes was I'm graduated, so did classes. That past tense is killer. But whenever I used to be in classes, that still feels good. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna revel in that for a
Pissing me
second.
off a little bit.
Oh.
Go on.
Just a deep sigh of relaxation. So whenever I was in class, what I would do is I would try to start a semester and stay as high as close to a 100 as long as I could, right? Because it's always easier to lower a grade than it is to
Bump.
bump it up.
Makes sense. I think I've done the opposite. I think I've looked at it doing the bare minimum to feel comfortable.
Right. So that's what ends up happening is I'm doing the most, right? As long as I can, and then it falls off inevitably. I can't do perfection the whole time. I wasn't even doing perfection in the beginning. I was staying as close as I could to 100. And
Me too right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's as close as I could get. That's the best I could do. Your professor's like, really? And you're like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the best I could do. So I try to stay as close to 100 as best I can. But what ends up happening is I get used to the effort that I'm putting in. And I do the same thing. I get cocky. So I'm like, come on, this class is easy. I'm not taking into account all of the work that I'm putting in, either consciously or subconsciously, to the class.
Yeah.
So then, of course, I would stop. So I'd play some more video games, be like, oh, I could study later. That's fine. And of course, later means, oh, you want to go to cookout? Yeah. I don't have anything to do.
Mm-hmm. So
then you just keep doing something else to put it off, because in your mind you've built up this. I've almost got 100.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. So then I would just
you're sitting in delusion in a way.
Exactly. In both ways, you're sitting in delusion, because you got up and you're like, now I know the bar. So you had set the bar and you're like, all I have to do is that bar. You do barely enough for that bar.
Not even, yeah.
And then you fail again.
Yep.
And I'm the same way, where it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm used to doing well. How could I do poorly? And then and then you just do poorly.
Then you just get a 40.
And I think that really comes back and speaks to arrogance, pride. You always thinking that you are the best one there.
Yeah.
Which at Tech, you are significantly not the smartest person there.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have to be a certified genius. Like,
I wonder what it feels like to actually be the smartest person there.
Be the
at Tech.
valedictorian. Could you imagine of your graduating class at
that
Georgia
would be
Tech?
nuts.
That would be
who's
nuts.
Who's that guy or gal? Who's that person?
Man, have you seen the graduation video? I don't know if it's a valedictorian, but he starts playing music in the background of his speech.
Yes,
that dude.
I met him.
That dude is awesome. Y'all got to go watch this Georgia Tech graduation speech. He plays music in the background.
I can do that.
I can do that speech.
Yeah.
It is hilarious and it's great nonetheless.
It was the year before I came in.
What?
Well,
never mind.
Came into this world, baby. No, but it was the year before I was a freshman at Tech.
Yeah.
So it was like, and it was funny. I came in as a summer freshman, as I've talked about before. I met that guy. I was in Publix for a late night food run with some of the guys on the floor of just the dorm.
Yeah.
And I was in there and I see a person, it's Tech. So it's Atlanta. So you see people, it's like most of these people don't go to Tech. And so I look across the aisle and I see this person. I'm like, man, that person looks really familiar. I have a pretty good facial recognition level. So I look at this person and I'm like, oh, that seems familiar. I go around the aisle, I think about it, and I'm like, I think that's Nick. I think that's the guy who did the video.
You can do that, guy.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going up to him. I got a photo with him.
That's neat.
But here's the problem. I got a new phone. So I don't think I have those old photos anymore.
Man, you messed up.
Which is a bummer. But I think it's on my Instagram, which I will actually confirm right now. I'm curious.
Might as well check the following right now.
Let's check the gram, man.
But I had a somewhat similar thing, but this is kind of off topic, but you brought it up that you went around the corner and you just sat there and thought, like, how do I know this person? Because you recognize them. That's how the whole Kelly thing happened. When I went into that dentist appointment or whatever,
right.
And I just little things. She somewhat looked familiar. She brought up Lifetime. She brought up boxing, and then I saw a bit of her tattoo, and I just remembered seeing a girl doing boxing and at Lifetime with a tattoo on her shoulder. Thought was attractive, and I brought it up. I was definitely a swing in the dark, because if I didn't, I'd just look creepy.
Swing in the dark?
But
dude,
frankly,
I do this all the time. It's shot in the dark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shot in the dark. Okay.
Because dude, I mix metaphors like crazy. Because you just mixed a swing and a miss, and a shot in the dark to a swing in the dark.
See, the thing was, we're throwing out all these, motivational quotes. I figured just combine the two.
We nailed them. We've been
time.
nailing them so far.
Yeah. Honestly, what's it? Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
I feel like I'm Tony Robbins right now.
Tony Robbins, baby.
You know who that is?
Yeah, he's the motivational, like, you can do it guy.
Yeah, really dark, really deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see his wife? His wife's like microscopic. The dude's like 7 feet tall.
Jesus. Yeah, and he sounds like he's 7 feet tall, dude.
Yeah, he's huge.
But
I'm gonna be completely honest. I've never listened to a full of
I
anything.
can't either. I mean,
It's a little mucho for me.
it is. It's
It's like, I get it, dude. You make money telling other people that they can do it.
you make money by telling other people that they can make money.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow,
So just do it. What's the guy? Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's that. I always find it funny how these like motivational speakers or these like rich people are famous or rich because they're rich and famous.
Yes.
Like the Ty Lopez,
Yeah. He got more rich because of
because
just me here in my garage.
look at all these books.
Don't look at my Lamborghini.
Ignore my 2 Lamborghinis.
What I'm most proud of is my books.
These books. This is, come on, man. And then but he like keeps the Lambos in the shot. He's like, these books.
Yeah.
Lambos.
Because knowledge is what got me
Knowledge.
this 2020 V8, state of the art Lamborghini. Don't think about that. Look at my
Lamborghini
bookcase.
Huracan.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And I got
It's like,
about 5 more of these bookcases in my bedroom.
I'm like, what are you selling?
Yeah.
Like, are you selling
He's-
selling like a positive outlook on life? Because that's free.
Well, he started, I think, the era of selling motivation. I
Yeah.
think so. Because if I think of anybody, I think of either him or Tony Robbins that just go there and they sold super broad ideas of motivation. Because think about it. You go in and you see these advertisements for people that want to, push you to do better. They don't give you any secret recipe to actually.
They don't give you no
They
secret
just make
recipe.
you, exactly. They just make you feel bubbly inside and good, like you can do something.
Yeah.
But like, if you want the details, I want to be a real estate, millionaire. So I'm going to go buy this real estate motivation course. They don't sit there and tell you, okay, you need to go get your exam. Make sure you take this class, spend this money, look into this, whatever. They say you can do it. If you believe you can be real estate, you can be a real estate broker.
And I think it's good. It's good. It's a good outlook on life. But for people to buy it, but like literally pay money to buy it, I think is foolish, because what ends up happening is they're missing, like they say, hey, go do, read a book. It's like, okay, I'm going to read a book on how to draw penises. It's like, that's not going to help you.
Yeah.
I just think, being realistic about stuff too, like we're saying in this whole podcast, like setting guardrails, not setting yourself up for failure. I think looking at it on the counter side, because they're taking it from the approach of, if you're going through life and you are purposefully succeeding at everything you do, it's like, no. Like, you're not going into something trying to succeed. You're going into something trying not to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do fail, inevitably, the best way to come back from that is how you pick up how you come back from failure. What do you learn?
One person that says it really well, another motivational guy, and I'll try and do it quick because we're running out of time.
Yeah. Hit us with the closer. What do you got?
Jason Capinel explains this perfectly. So, for example, somebody that just wants to get in the gym and get the most shredded, ripped body. My bad. A little closer.
I just want to hear your beautiful voice.
I got you. They think of that process as a valley. So your motivation is up here. You are going to the gym. You go for a straight week. But then it starts going down because you start realizing how hard it is, how much it's hurting your body, how it's not as great as you thought. Like, you think, oh, it's going to be so easy.
Or you see progress.
True. But in this case, we'll just think about starting even a business.
No, I'm saying you still go down.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm starting to see progress, and I'm like,
yes.
Do I need to keep working out?
Exactly. You're right. I see where you're going with that. But it's a valley. And the thing is, you need to get past. So you're going down and you're realizing how hard it is. And you get to this bottom where you're like, wow, this is much worse than I expected. Like, I had all this excitement and enthusiasm that I was going to do it. But you get here. And this is what he says. Everybody quits here. Everybody quits right around this area. But little do you know, you literally you take a little more step. It's a valley. And you go straight back up. It's literally just getting past the valley of failure. The valley of misconception.
The valley of death.
The valley of death. Exactly.
I fear no evil.
Yeah.
Though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death.
But that's my little spiel on it. I thought that he placed that perfectly, because there's so many times that I've overthought the simplicity of things.
And I really agree, because it's like, truly the night is darkest just before the dawn.
There's another one. Jesus, we are killing it.
That's The Dark Knight.
All right, didn't even know. I'm
if
not a
you
DC fan. Marvel.
Watch that movie. It's Christian. Come on, it's Christian Bale. Come on.
Marvel.
I get it. I love Marvel. Listen, I'm a sucker for series.
Oh.
Like
Marvel.
any series. We'll go into that. Listen, we're going to throw you right now. This is the end of the episode. You've made it. Congratulations. Go check out mancardpodcast.com. Email us mancardpod, P-O-D, @gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We'll do a whole show about whatever you suggest. And we just did an Instagram Live. So come check us out there as well. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, go over to iTunes Podcast because we're live there.
We're live
And
everywhere.
Go give us a rating. I'm not going to say what rating to give us.
Five
Just
stars.
give us a rating.
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars. Please. Give us a comment. Give us a rating. Our
5 stars.
audio just cut out, but we're
5
coming
stars.
back in.
5
5 stars. 5 stars. Give us a comment. We want to hear from you. We will see you on Friday for your weekly dose of Man Check. See you.